Welcome back. Ever since President Trump began his second tour of duty, if you will, in the Oval Office, there has been transformational changes within the Department of Veterans Affairs. Under the Biden administration, veterans' rights were often neglected and face an uphill battle to claim and utilize many of the same benefits and compensations enjoyed by everyday Americans. But under the leadership of President Trump and the Trump administration and the guidance of VA Secretary Doug Collins, veterans in the country are enjoying this a renaissance, which many thought they'd never see. That said, the efforts of the VA department are not finished by a long shot.
And it's now our pleasure to welcome in Secretary of Veterans Affairs Doug Collins into National Report. Secretary, thank you for being here.
Hey, it's always good to be here.
I mean, the work that you're doing in the VA has been incredible. Just so many milestones. I want you to go over some of your accomplishments of this past year, but first I want to ask you what your favorite one is and how wonderful it is to serve those who have served our country.
Well, one, we're the largest integrated healthcare system in the country, but yet we get the best clients in the world. We take care of veterans. That's all we get to take care of. So for me, the best change was when I came in and I basically said that the VA is about veterans first. In other words, everything we do, from our organizational structure to how we buy, everything that we do is going to be focused on how would a veteran like to be treated. And that's been a great transformation, which has caused us to bring down backlogs, wait times, better service, just the things that you want to see with helping our veterans.
Especially for those that have served our great nation, they deserve that ultimate care in terms of how they're being treated, their access that they have, and you've really seen it. You've gotten some great feedback. Mr. Secretary, I want to dive into some of the recent accomplishments, specifically, if I can, the VA. Last week, I believe you announced this, that more than 100,000 new veterans have enrolled in health care. You reached that milestone figure back at the end of March 31st.
Yep.
That is faster than that number had been reached in 6 of the last 7 years, I believe. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I think, number one, it puts the emphasis on what we're trying to do, and that is reached out to every veteran, especially those who may not know that they have that they've earned benefits. Yeah. This is not a give out. This is not a veteran is a victim. This is about veterans who've earned benefits for raising their right hand and going into service. So what we've done is we've had a system now where we reach out. Our outreach has been strong. We've had, like I said, 100,000 in the first quarter, but we've also opened, in the last year and a half, opened 34 new clinics. We've opened new facilities. We're putting hundreds of millions of dollars into remodeling existing and older infrastructure that we have. And also, I think, and I hear this from veterans all the time, again, do we have everything solved at the VA? No. We're a large organization, 170 hospitals. There's going to be somebody who missed an appointment or something to get done right. But overall, veterans are coming back and saying there's a new attitude, there's a new energy when they walk into their hospital, their clinic, and they're really happy about it. So I think they're now telling others, and we're seeing results of that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I know another accomplishment you've been able to do is drastically reduce the backlog of veterans that are still waiting for either disability or be it their pension. Talk to me about that, because under the Biden administration, it was very difficult for veterans to be able to receive these benefits that they fought for.
It is, and it just got to be where it was business as usual. Again, not veteran first, but the bureaucracy was put first. And so we just said, look, we're going to lower this. When I first got there, 260,000 plus claims that were over 125 days. We had over 1 million just actual claims. Today, I'm sitting here and tell you we're in the mid-80s thousand on those backlog. We've already brought it down that far. Went from 138 days to roughly about 80 days. We're working with the Department of War to make that even go down. There's a possibility within the next year, this year, that we're going to get that down to basically getting a claim done within 30 to 40 days.
Wow.
I mean, that's where we're at.
It's huge.
It's amazing, because really that's the people's lives on getting started in the VA. So they're waiting on that determination so that they can move forward with their life. We're determined to get it done quicker. By the way, also, we had over 1 million claims waiting for us from the Biden administration when they left. We're down now around 500,000.
Wow, cleaning up that backlog by 50%, that's a big move there. We're talking about ease of use, too, as well, and access, and it brings me to health record management. I know this is very specific, but electronic health record management. What's happening there for veterans to be able to access their health care?
Perfect opportunity to look at a problem that existed. We're the largest integrated healthcare system, but our technology is about 30 years behind. And it's now time to get into the 21st century. At least the last few years will be nice. But what had happened was, when we started this a few years ago, the VA tried to do it is everybody they're special, everybody gets their own. And you can't do big projects like that. It's got to have some standardization. The previous secretary basically stopped it 2 years ago. He said, we're just not going to do this anymore. When I went through my confirmation last year, I said, no, we've spent billions of dollars on this. This is something from a taxpayer perspective, but it's also about the veterans. I'm very proud to say that this weekend we started 4 new sites in Michigan. We got 13 coming on this year, and we're steamrolling the process to get this back. What does that mean to a veteran? It means that they're going to have easier access to their scheduling. But on the backside, it means that their records can get transferred between the community and their hospitals. It means that they can go from San Diego to St. Louis, and their records, when this is all done, are just seamless. Right now, we don't have it. We're spending $700 million on a system just to keep it alive. So now we're moving into something else.
It's huge because, you know, in previous administrations, and if you look back, I mean, some of those that served in various cabinets were just Secretary of Veterans Affairs in name only. Yeah. It seems like you're actually working, like you're digging into, let me find all these issues that were so complicated before, or people really didn't want to look at them, and you're getting them solved. It's great to see. Before you go, if I can I tap into your time in Congress?
Yeah.
DHS funding is coming up on 2 months now of not being funded all over ICE, which is already paid. Who's suffering? TSA, Americans, Coast Guard, you name it. And it's still at a stalemate with Republicans, with Democrats. You've served before. You're watching this play out. What frustrates you most?
That they're not remembering the person not at the table. And the person not at the table is that Coast Guard person, that person in DHS who's went without a paycheck now. Yeah. You know, the president has done everything he can to help with TSA and do the other things there. But what is very disturbing to me is you're shutting down a department of government over an ideological stance that has no bearing. Hear me clearly. If you're watching this on TV today, you're hearing me talk. They're not shutting down ICE. ICE is still going on. It's been pre-funded through the Big Beautiful Bill last year. This is something that is just simply an ideological point because undoubtedly Democrats care more about the illegal population that is not being taken, you know, they feel like that they need special treatment as opposed to American veterans or American citizens or Americans who work in our DHS. This is just a problem to me of not coming to the real solutions. They've got to make the hard choices. Unfortunately, the Democrats have chose to play politics with something that's, frankly, at the end of the day, I'm not even sure what they gain.
Yeah.
Secretary Collins, great to see you. Thank you for that. We do appreciate it.